Lebanon's parliament elects Lebanon's army chief, General Joseph Aoun, after a more than 2-year vacuum at the country's top position. The Palestinian death toll from the ongoing Israeli aggression on the Gaza Strip surpasses 46,000, with more than 109,300 wounded. And wildfires continue in Los Angeles, killing at least 5 and displacing more than 100,000. Hello, good afternoon. It's 4 o'clock Cairo local time and you're watching Q News. We're going to start today with the latest political developments in Lebanon.
كل المستهدفين هن مدنيين. وضع شيء مرعب، شيء بخوف.
Lebanon's army chief, General Joseph Aoun, has been elected president after a more than 2-year vacuum in the top position in the country. Aoun, who has been the commander of the Lebanese armed forces since 2017, secured 99 votes of 128 during the second round of a parliament session called by the speaker, Nabi Berri. During the first round of voting, Aoun received 71 votes, short of the 86 required to become president. But in the second round of voting, Shibli Mallet earned 2 votes. 9 MPs voted with a white ballot and 5 votes were deemed cancelled, and several MPs voted for the slogan Sovereignty and Constitution. In his first remarks after being elected, Lebanon's new president, Joseph Aoun, emphasized the resilience of the nation. President-elect Aoun also outlined his vision for restoring order and stability, calling on all citizens to uphold the rule of law. Aoun declared that the country will be under the rule of law and that there would be no smuggling, drug trafficking, security voids, judiciary interference, protection, or favoritism. Earlier, Lebanon's Parliament Speaker, Nabi Berri, adjourned the session to elect the president for 2 hours of consultations, after a first round of voting failed to produce enough votes for Lebanese Army Commander Joseph Aoun. Just 71 of the 128 lawmakers voted in favor of Aoun, short of the 86 required, before Speaker Nabi Berri suspended the session until 2 p.m., sparking outrage from some lawmakers who demanded an immediate second vote. Caretaker Prime Minister Najib Mikati has met with the French presidential envoy Jean-Yves Le Drian to discuss the latest developments in Lebanon. After the meeting, Mikati and Le Drian walked to the Parliament building to attend the session to elect the President of the Republic. Mikati also held a separate meeting with Foreign Minister Abdallah Bou Habib. Now, for more on these developments, we cross over to the newsroom with Rana. Newsroom, Rana?
Thank you so much, Mark. And for more analysis on Lebanon, we're joined from Amman by political analyst Adil Mahmoud. Welcome to Qnews, sir. Sir, from your own narrative, what challenges might General Aoun face the upcoming period?
Good afternoon to you and to all viewers. A new Lebanon, a Mediterranean, new Mediterranean president, a speech contain messages conveyed domestically and internationally. Internally launched the sparkle beginning of back to the Arab League. Also, several messages to abroad that it is be non-biased Lebanon, which is very important. On the level of the domestic affairs in Lebanon, as happened by General Aoun, it's an inclusive speech and very bold. Laid down a roadmap to the inside Lebanon, conveyed messages, specifically the issue of the arm, and it should be on the hand of the state. And briefly, the tourism attraction to Lebanon and the independence of judiciary system. Several messages I think that Lebanese never use of such a discourse, as it is very clear and very well paid. And he admitted that following the Middle East earthquake, from my point of view, today too many things were cleared through a balanced speech domestically and internationally. And I think even the Palestinian Authority and the other countries and the international momentum that blocked the way on the path following the war, any intervention politically by the Shiite groups, the international roadmap laid down the 60-day deadline of the ceasefire. And challenges, from my point of view, is to assist the international powers. It is clearly for the last moment that there was some sort of pressure by using the stick. The president was elected.
Okay, sir, sorry to interrupt you, but now that the parliament has elected a president, what can be expected next?
I expect firstly is regaining the prestige of the Lebanese state. Even the powers of the president are going to be different. It will have some extra space compared to the previous president. I think the Lebanese army advancement, according to the agreement of 1701, that would lead to a new Lebanon that would require certainly for reconstruction the Arab support. And I think the Lebanese, following the speech, are very optimistic. We cannot say that Lebanon will go to be like Switzerland, but we might see that the first circles of what is called the new Middle East that started already in Lebanon.
What impact will Aoun's presidency have on Lebanon's economic and social situation, sir?
So it's a start of electing a president and the prime minister are going to be provided.
And now we can see Lebanese President General Joseph Aoun, who heads to the palace in Lebanon, of course. And of course, it's worth to mention that after 2 years without a president in Lebanon, today marks a historic day, as Lebanon today, the parliament has already elected a new president for Lebanon. And of course, it is for the sake of Lebanon, for the sake of the ongoings in Lebanon and in South Lebanon, and the ceasefire, of course, with Israel, that we're going to know today the ongoings and the conclusions that are going to be taking places. Also, it's worth to mention that it's, of course, of great impact on Lebanon's economic stability and, of course, on the social situation in Lebanon. It is also worth to mention that Lebanese relations with international partners, of course, is going to go forward, and there's going to be much difference in every single aspect on the, of course, internal policies and international policies, that many prospects are going to change when it comes to Lebanon now. And of course, every partner and immediate priorities for Aoun's new government is to restore, of course, the stability in Lebanon. It's worth also to mention that, of course, Egypt and Egyptians all send Lebanon their utmost happiness, and of course, it's a move that it's long been awaited and that we've reached today, and we're all happy, and we'll stand and await the results. Wishing, of course, Joseph Aoun best of luck. Of course, it's a very difficult task, but hopefully he's going to be up to it, and everything is going to be back on track. Lebanese President arrives as we watch now, dear viewers. He is arriving at the palace, and he is walking on the red carpet. And of course, again, as I mentioned, we are witnessing a historic moment in Lebanon's history today. After 2 years, a new president for Lebanon, which is, of course, of all happiness and of all pride to every single country in the Middle East, because Lebanon, of course, marks a very important destination for all of us. It is worth to mention that Lebanon's Army Chief General Joseph Aoun has been elected president after more than 2-year vacuum at the top position in the country. Aoun, who has been commander of the Lebanese armed forces since 2017, secured 99 votes out of 128 during the second round of a parliamentary session called by the Speaker, Nabih Berri. During the first round of voting, Aoun received 71 votes, short of 86 required to become president. But still, he made it and became the president of Lebanon. In his first remarks after being elected, Lebanon's new president, Joseph Aoun, has emphasized the resilience of his nation. President-elect Aoun also outlined his vision for restoring order and stability, calling on all citizens to uphold the rule of law. Aoun declared that the country will be under the rule of law and that there would be no smuggling, drug trafficking, security voids, judiciary interference, protection, or favoritism. And yet, dear viewers, we're watching President-elect Joseph Aoun walking into the palace. And of course, we witness, again, a historic moment in the history of Lebanon and in the history of the Middle East, with all pride As Arabs, of course, we stand for this very important decision that was taken today in the Lebanese parliament, electing a new president after a vacuum of 2 years, as I mentioned, as we mentioned. Maadel Mahmoud, I'm very sorry to have interrupted you, but of course you are watching the ongoings. How will General Aoun manage Lebanon's relations with international partners, of course, on every domain, and in light of course, of the ceasefire and the Lebanese and the Israeli, of course, bombings that are taking place in Lebanon, in ceasefire that's supposed to be taking place on the 25th?
I think through the speech of the new president elected to the partners, included in a new message that the borders might be changed, that he came following the fall of a regime and a change of borders. Is he informed? Is he approved of what's happening? What's going to happen? It's too early. That's how he's going to deal regarding the Israeli position of their armies in the southern of Lebanon. We'll expect.
Okay, sir. Back again to my main question, which is Lebanon's relations with international partners as a new president for Lebanon has been elected today.
The relations is going to be different. The president delivered an inclusive speech determining the relationship with the Syrian regime, starting from the borders and the no space for smuggling, the non-interference of the Arab affairs, and it's clear for the partners the wish for having a new Lebanon, of demarking the land borders. And I think that the relation is going to be different compared in the past. It's not going to have an Iranian domination by Hezbollah. If we didn't have a result of the war, we wouldn't have Joseph Aoun supported by the USA, as well as in supporting the Lebanese army. So we are before a new shift towards a new Lebanon in the framework of what is called of the new Middle East. I think that the relation is going to be different, as well as the Arab back. And the form of the Israeli positioning is the agreement is going to be eligible to be extended, but it is certainly for the new elected president of Lebanon. He's already ready to cooperate with the American partners as well as the international partners, the pressurized Lebanon on the international table. Even the Lebanese never realized that this would happen, as well as the political maneuvering and the political vacuum today. These result as a result of the loss of Iranians allies. So, and Lebanon is going gradually to be present in the Israeli-Lebanese borders, as well as their army is going to have a full support and the issue of the monopolization of the armies, as well as the Palestinian camps, indicated by saying it was no security island. Through his speech, he gave trust and
Exactly,
self-assured
sir.
for the Lebanese that, and we have in that new Lebanon even those who were in the parliament were surprised, and along with the international and Arab support, I think everybody, starting from Egypt and the Arab nations, wish to have a national consensus, and that what happened during the second round of electing the new president of Lebanon.
Sir, what are the immediate priorities for Aoun's new government to restore stability in Lebanon?
Choosing Prime Minister, as it happened today, based on consensus, there's no going to have a third suspended the formation of the government. If the previous phases were returned back in the scene, so we'll have another problem. So the first priority is forming a cabinet that is biased, and if he goes out of the sectarianism equation, but the partnership with the powers of the president and the upcoming premier will determine the first priorities. We should not forget that there is a demolition in the southern of Lebanon, so the reconstruction is going to be the first priority, as well as the security. What about what are the steps and the powers to be given to the Lebanese army to dismantle and eradicate the Iranian arms in the north of the Lysanien? Through the agreement, where an agreement to dismantle the arm there, and I think the matter of the savings of the Lebanese is in a very delicate file as well, but a space of hope. And what happened today is not just filling the gap of the political vacuum. It is a beginning of a new era following the Iranian domination.
As we begin this new era and we mark today a turning point in Lebanese history, as we elected today a new president for Lebanon. What are the prospects for reforms in Lebanon under Aoun's leadership, especially in terms of governance and the rule of law, sir?
It is premature that Lebanon is going directly for reconstruction. It's relying, as you know, there is the Taif agreement regarding the quotas of the Speaker of the Parliament, the Premier, that this should be have an Arab and Gulf countries consensus. I think to end the agreement or to execute the agreement of 1701 to determine the first hour of a reconstruction of Lebanon. It is only provided not for the sakeness of Lebanon. We might see a future of new figures in Lebanon with respect to the parliament. The network of the corrupt regime should be dismantled, as spoke by the president.
Sir, of course, I can't thank you enough for your informative and your analysis, which was really detailed. Thank you very much, sir. And of course, we all today mark a very important turning point in history. Political analyst Adel Mahmoud, thank you for your valuable knowledge and your insights. Thank you very much. And now back again to Mark.
Thank you very much, Rana. Rana there taking us through those live pictures of the new president of Lebanon making his way to the presidential palace, President-elect Joseph Aoun. Now to Gaza now, and Gaza-based health authorities have confirmed that the Palestinian death toll from the ongoing Israeli aggression on the Gaza Strip has surpassed 46,000, with more than 109,300 others wounded. They added that the Israeli occupation army committed 3 massacres against families in the Gaza Strip over the past 24 hours, killing 70 civilians and injuring 104 others. To the United States now, and in California, wildfires have continued over Studio City and the Pacific Palisades neighborhoods of Los Angeles, killing at least 5. Wildfires surrounding Los Angeles spread to the Hollywood Hills after other fires in the area destroyed hundreds of homes and stretched firefighting resources and water supplies to the limit. More than 100,000 people were ordered to evacuate as dry, hurricane-force winds hindered firefighting operations and spread the fires, which have burned throughout thousands of acres since they began on Tuesday. And that brings us to almost the end of our news bulletin, but here's a recap of the main headlines. Lebanon's parliament has elected Lebanon's army chief, General Joseph Aoun, after more than 2-year vacuum at the country's top position as president. The Palestinian death toll from the ongoing Israeli aggression on the Gaza Strip surpasses 46,000, with more than 109,300 wounded. And wildfires continue in LA, killing at least 5 and displacing more than 100,000. And that's all for our news bulletin this hour. Don't forget to follow Qnews on our social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok as well, at Qnews EGY. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more news here on Qnews.